Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have had a great day. We are almost to the weekend. I did delay the live just a little bit because I was watching Blinky and Purple. Shout out to them. Loyalty to the core. But as you guys know, every Tuesday and Thursday we do true crime, and that's where what we're doing now. I'm glad that you guys joined me, and you guys know how we always start our true crime episodes out. If you are on Facebook after we play these two rounds, I am going to say goodbye to you, but that's not yet. First, let's go to our time waster. If you want to play this game or just look at celebrity mugshots or just have some time to waste, all you have to do is go to the Smoking Gun website. Under the tab Time Waster, you will find these. This one is match the criminal to their weapon. Okay. And these always get me. I always want to know more. I want to know how they use the weapon, what they were charged with, what I want to know all the details because I'm nosy. But they don't give you any of that information. But here we number the suspects. So number one, two, three, four, and five. It's quite simple. And then you tell me what weapon you think number one, two, three, or four or five used. And just type it in the comments. We got a ball bat. We got, I think, are those pliers or is there a certain name for those? Is that water balloons? It looks like that could be is that an apple? I don't know if that's an apple. It kind of looks like something else. But anyway, we got some kind of fruit and then we have a pillow. Water. So we got a ball bat, a tool, balloons, a fruit, and a pillow. And this says all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's what that sign says. If you cannot see it, all you have to do is flip your phone sideways, or you can actually pinch and zoom like you would on your camera, and you'll be able to zoom each picture or whatever you want to look at. Number four looks like she is getting ready to have her hair done. I mean, is that a trash bag wrapped around her? What is on her? Because she's definitely not at the hairdresser. So, what do you guys think? Who used the ball bat? Four is ready for water balloons. Oh, well, that makes sense. I like that. I will go there because I like that humor. I love it. One is, oh, it's vice grips. One is, well, vice grips actually makes sense out of most of these, and a ball bat makes sense. A ball bat to me makes sense way more, and a vice grips, way more than water balloons, a piece of fruit, or the pillow. Like what? First one is five. So you think the bat is number five. He does kind of look like the one out of all of them that would use a bat. I feel like maybe three could be the pillow. One is pliers. Yes. Pinch and clench, honey. Well, they all did use something because they're all on the board. So they all did use a weapon. Um, so that is true. So we got 2 and 3. Do we think number 2 used the fruit? 2 is the mango. Thank you for, I don't eat fruit or vegetable. So I'm not good with identifying my fruits and vegetables here. Oh, we only got one and it was my choice, the pillow. I told y'all he was the only one up there that used the damn pillow. All right, we got number 1, he used the mango. Number 2, he used the bat. Number 3 was the pillow. 4 was the vice grips. Maybe that's why they had her in a trash bag. Maybe she had stuff all over her. I don't know. And number 5, which looks like he could have been the one using the bat, apparently he decided to pick up water balloons. So, there's that. Like I said, this game teaches us nothing but don't judge a book by its cover. I don't know what else will because, only number 3 is the only one that I got right. And that's just because, he's a little fluffy. Nothing, no shade. He's a little fluffy, so I thought pillow matched. Let's go to this next one. Let's try this previous one. We haven't seen this one. All right. I'm not sure. Usually the five people that are criminals have something in common. I was going to say it was facial hair. Sometimes it's very little things. Sometimes it'll be they all have band t-shirts on or they all have orange on. This one I don't see besides the fact they're all men. Sometimes they're all injured. I guess this one is just they're all men because I was going to say facial hair, but not all of them have facial hair, so I don't know. All right, we got 1 through 5. Number 5 is very freaking happy or psychotic, one or the other. Number 1, definitely he's got some type of injury. But here are the crimes they committed: driving under the influence, cruelty to juveniles, criminal mischief, stalking, and aggravated assault with a firearm. I feel like criminal mischief is number 5 just because he looks the most mischievous. And I don't know, driving under the influence, maybe it's number 1 because he's got an injury. Um, but shit, you could be stalking and have an injury too. You think number 5 is DUI? All right. Number 2 is stalking, 5 DUI. All right. Those are the 2 I saw. Number 2 is stalking. Number 5 is DUI. All right. Tell me the rest. Tell me the rest. Ooh, a couple people said 2 is stalking. Oh, Julie said 3 is stalking. Remember you said that, so you'll know if you were right. Um, hey, Teresa. I love starting true crime out this way, and I know some people are like, "I don't know why she plays that game." But true crime is so heavy and it gets so dark sometimes. I feel like starting it out with this game, although it's criminals and crimes, number 1 is okay, although it's criminals and crimes and stuff, I feel like it's just a good way to start it out, you know? All right, we got number 3 and 4 left, and we've got cruelty to juveniles and aggravated assault with a pew pew. What do we think? What do we think? I feel like number 3 is probably aggravated assault. I don't know. It could be cruelty. He just looks mean. So he could be cruelty or aggravated. So I'm not sure. You think 4 is the stalker? I would probably have to agree with you about the 4 is the stalker. You think 3 is the stalker. Ooh, what do y'all think? Cruelty to juveniles and aggravated. So you think cruelty to juveniles is 3. Is cruelty to juveniles, like, something to do with that? Is it like a SA thing, or is cruelty to juveniles could that be like fighting a juvenile? I don't know about that one. 1. We got 1. He got see, aggravated assault. Oh, look, if we woulda just flipped them, we'd have got them right, y'all. We had those. Look, we had a 50-50 chance, and we still got those 2 wrong. All right, number 1, like, I thought number 1 was driving under the influence just because he had a injury. So, driving under the influence is number 1. We got stalking correct, and then we flipped 3 and 4, which is crazy because we had a friggin' 50-50 shot. But we flipped 3 and 4. So, number 3 was aggravated assault with a pew pew, number 4 was cruelty to juveniles, and then number 5 was mischief. If I would have put my DUI and the criminal mischief in the right place, we probably would have got well, we definitely would have got more than one. Because those are the 2 I guessed at the beginning. You guys remember? I said this guy looks like he's mischievous and this guy's DUI because he's got a and I had not played this one. That's cool, but we got 1 out of 5. We'll take it. Again, we don't do so well usually, but also if you guys were playing individually, you would probably do better. But I'm just guessing. I'm just taking like the first one that pops up. So again, probably makes a difference. Um, you knew number 2 was the stalker. You were right, FBI. Dang. All right. So I wanted to show you guys a few things about this case. Oh, Facebook. Let me say goodbye to Facebook first. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you go out of the live that you're currently in and scroll up to the link, click on that link, and then come on over to YouTube. But once you get over here, you can come or you can go to Kick. You can come in the live chat, enter at your own risk. If you see someone or something you don't like, all you have to do is block the person. All I ask is that you hit that X on the right hand side, go out and thumbs up the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. But I am going to say goodbye to you, Facebook. Bye. Right. All right. So I wanted to show you guys some things that have been coming out about the university. We talked about the University of Kentucky student who was on the University of Kentucky's cheer team for 3 years, and she had the baby at home, and then she put the baby with the umbilical cord and everything, and all the evidence, as she called it, evidence, in a trash bag in her closet, and then they called 911. So I'm not sure if she was going to hide the baby while they called, but we've talked about this case, and now new things are coming out. People are going through her social media and just things that they have seen that kind of pops out at them that has happened. So I wanted to share some of these things with you guys because um, I couldn't believe some of these that have come out. University of Kentucky student Lakin Snelling's alleged maternity photos go viral after her newborn is found. Well, it was actually in her closet, but this is the girl. Now look at these photos. Now she wasn't getting engaged, nothing like that. But some people are thinking that these photos that you see on the left, this is her on the right, but they are thinking that these photos on the left, that there's no way she didn't know. You could see she had a baby bump. There's also a picture, and I couldn't find it, but there's also a picture I saw on the thumbnail of a video where she's in her uniform. You could tell they were either at like a game or an event of some kind, and she's in her uniform standing on the sideline, and you could clearly see a bump. Especially as short stature and small stature as she is, it was very evident to me. And it wasn't like, you can tell the difference, especially on a small girl like that. You could tell the difference between, in my opinion, you can, a baby bump and just extra little chunkiness. You know what I mean? But these to me definitely, I could see why people would think these are maternity photos. She's a 21-year-old University of Kentucky student and beauty queen has been arrested. We saw this in her closet. The shocking case has been accompanied by a viral spread of her alleged maternity photo shoot, which shows her in a white dress smiling alongside a man presumed to be her boyfriend. These images, reportedly taken from her now deleted Instagram, have been widely circulated across social media since her arrest. Um, and this was August 30th, where they discovered the newborn in a towel inside a black trash bag inside her closet. And of course, the baby was pronounced. She admitted that she did give birth to the child and tried to conceal the evidence. She told officers that she placed the infant and all the cleaning materials in the trash bag. She now faces 3 felony charges: abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant. They said they're still determining the cause of death. It actually, I believe the autopsy came back inconclusive. And here's some more of those photos that people are saying, like, it sure looks like a maternity shoot to me. Because I think people could argue it could be an engagement shoot, but they weren't engaged. Um, so do you guys think, and I know couples take photos together, right? Couples take photos together even when they're not getting engaged, even when they're not having a baby. So it does happen, photo people like having photos with their significant other. I just think with the timing and the way they look and everything, I think it does make me think that maybe possibility, even if she didn't tell her boyfriend, I feel like in her brain somewhere, she was thinking about keeping this child, or she wouldn't have done these photos. Exactly, Layla. Like, but then they called 911, so that's what confused me, Layla. I wonder if someone heard her giving birth and that's who called 911. Did she call 911? Like, I'm just wondering, because if you were going to go through all that, clean the mess up, do all the things, put it in a trash bag, put it in your closet and hide it, why would you then call authorities? So I'm wondering if maybe someone that she was living with didn't call. Right, exactly, Heather. And they're not engaged. It was not an engagement. It was not engagement photos. It was just called a couple shoot. All right, so let me show you this other one. Hold on. Let me get rid of this one since I showed it to you. There's just been so much coming out about it. I think there was part of her that was thinking about maybe keeping the child. Um, Look at this. She was seen dressed as a pregnant woman for Halloween months before, actually 10 months before. And you're pregnant for 10 months. So people are speculating, was she already pregnant? Like, she would have just been, I mean, if it was 10 months ago, I mean, you're pregnant for 10 months. So I don't think there's a possibility that she could have even known that she was pregnant here at that time. If you add up, I'm not sure. I mean, if she did know at this point during Halloween, she would have been like at earliest maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And I don't even think you could tell unless you just knew because your cycle and you knew and you guys were planning it or something. But I really don't think this says too much. I don't think she was probably even pregnant at this time. And if she was, I don't think it would have been scientifically possible for her to know she was. I mean, granted, it is interesting as far as that's crazy that she went at Halloween last year as a pregnant woman, and then she ended up getting pregnant and all this happened. That is insane, right? It's almost like people say like be careful what you wish for or be careful what you put out into this world. Well, she dressed up as a pregnant woman and then she was pregnant very shortly after. If not already pregnant, just not didn't know it. So in that aspect, I think it is interesting. But as far as to try to say that she was pregnant in this, which some people have been trying to say, and people get they get the picture and they don't know the context and they don't think about like how long ago Halloween was, and they just put it out there and don't really, I don't think about the timeline of things. But I think that is a little bit of a reach to say that she could possibly have been pregnant at this point and was playing off of that for Halloween. I don't think that's scientifically possible. Yeah, Valerie, I waited a little bit and before I went live, just to do, just to go live because I was over there as well. Um, yeah, about 10 months. The photos were initially shared by the school's stunt team, but were deleted in the wake of Snelling's recent arrest. The school deleted them. Arrested August 31st, the same story. She told them she cleaned up. I just can't believe she actually said like cleaned up evidence. Is this a video? Oh no. Okay. I thought that was a video of her. Okay. So yeah, I think that one, like I said, it is very interesting because of what happened, but saying that she knew at that time, I think that was a stretch just because the timeline doesn't add up. All right, let's see what this one says. This was another update, I believe, by People that People did. I try to keep us updated on these cases. Sometimes nothing happens for a while, and then sometimes all kinds of stuff happens. But if I've talked about it, I try to, if I see something or if somebody asks about it, I try to like keep us updated. Um, She's been of course, we know she's on placed on house arrest, but they were saying that she does not have an ankle monitor. Now, I've seen other reports say that she did have an ankle monitor, which I can understand if they say house arrest. Most people in their minds think she has an ankle monitor. But I did read a couple of reports saying that although they're telling her she's on house arrest, that they're not actually monitoring her. So I'm not sure which is the actual truth. It says University of Kentucky has dreamt about getting married, buying a house, and having children, according to her social media. It says that she apparently posted on June 25th and has taken on what she posted on June 25th has taken on new meaning as she stands accused of hiding her newborn in her closet. And they go on to talk about the case, and it says on Tuesday she pled not guilty to the charges and remains under house arrest at her parents' house. Um, then they announced the autopsy was inconclusive. And then it says questions remain. Okay, social media sleuths searching for answers pointed out that Snelling's June 25th TikTok post that appeared to show her standing on the street wearing a white tank and pink gingham pants with Beyonce and Dolly Parton's hit song Tyrant playing in the background. Categories included her favorite color, favorite season, birth month, eye color, and goals. Were superimposed onto the picture. Under the goals category, she posted an emoji of a diamond ring, a bag of money, a family of four, a house, and a mother holding a baby. Now, clearly, she was pregnant at this time. On July 18th, the young woman posted pictures of her in a long white dress and a young man, presumably her boyfriend, standing in a field holding hands with the caption hashtag couples photography. Other photos show her and her boyfriend sitting down in the grass while her holding her stomach and leaning against him. Let's see what this video shows. All right, I take out the music, but let's see what these photos. One of them of her holding her stomach. I didn't see that one. Okay, let's see. Oh, that one they're talking about holding her stomach. They are kind of a little, like without doing it. How they hold the like it's very popular in maternity photo shoots for like the husband to get behind, and then when they hold their hands together, they create like a little heart. Like maybe and Niecy Baby did on her kitty cat that one time. So yeah, I can see what they're saying about holding. I was like holding her belly. I thought they meant she was holding her belly. Another commented speculating the picture of her sitting in the grass leaning against her boyfriend. Third picture is so clear she's pregnant. What the hell was she thinking? Uh-uh-uh. So yeah, as of now, she's pled not guilty. She was released on a $100,000 bond and, just awaits for court. There's so many of these cases that have happened. Also, have you guys seen this? This mom of six. This mom of six was missing, and she was missing for over a year. She went missing over a year ago, just disappeared. She was found dead in the woods, and this just was posted 3 hours ago. Like, this is very, very new. This mom right here, I can't even say it. It's a parish, so I'm assuming in Louisiana, the Calcasieu Parish. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure I'm butchering that. But the parish sheriff's office announced that human remains found in June were identified as Tamika Watley, who was last heard from in June of 2024. So it was literally like a year to the time she disappeared that these remains were found. Louisiana officials have announced that human remains found in a wooded area off a roadway belong to Tamika Watley, a 37-year-old mother of six who was last heard from in June 2024. The parish sheriff's office said remains located in a wooded area off Highway 90 West in Vinton on June 16th were identified as Watley by the LSU Forensic Anthropology and Computer Enhancement Services Lab on September 5th. Why it matters. Family members told detectives that they last spoke on the phone with Watley on June 5th. She was reported missing to the parish sheriff's office on July 23rd, so quite a while after. Miranda Watley, Tamika's younger sister, previously told the NBC show Dateline that she became concerned when Tamika missed several family celebrations and birthdays. She never missed holidays, she never missed birthdays. The parish office were dispatched to the 5400 block of Highway 90 on June 16th in reference to human remains found in a wooded area off the roadway. Detectives processed the scene and sent the remains for identification. Officials said Tamika did not have a permanent address or working cell phone. She was known to frequent areas in Lake Charles, including C Street, Railroad Avenue, 12th Street, and North Booker Street. Oh, wow. Wait, what is this? Oh, let me wait till after the ad. In June that no evidence had been found to indicate that foul play was involved. Play foul. Jesus. The investigation efforts include numerous interviews, searches, and assistance from other law enforcement. Hold on, let me pause this because I want to see this too. The mother says, I know I am the last one who spoke with her. It hit me kind of hard today, but I'm all right. I just thank God because if it weren't for God, I don't know what I could do. I try to stay prayed up. Son said she was a caring mom. She always made sure we had stuff and that we could do it. I mean, she was a good person at heart. The investigation is still ongoing. If anybody knows anything, please contact the sheriff's office at 337-491-3605. You can also report tips anonymously through the Close Watch app or by calling Crime Stoppers at 337-439-22222. So yeah, it doesn't look like they suspect foul play, but at least those six children and that family can have a little bit of closure. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, everybody. Calcasieu? Calcasieu? You knew so many people that knew her? Really, Jordan? I'm so sorry. I just saw it pop up earlier before I went live, and I was like, let me show this.
Eventually turned up a
Let's
5 missing people who turned up
Killa.
alive, part 3. In this video, Fact Faction takes
Oh,
a
I
look
thought they were
at
talking
5
about
more
somebody
people
now.
who were once missing but eventually turned up alive. This list features a dementia sufferer, prolonged periods of captivity, and some welcome happy endings. On June 4th, 2002,
I thought they were
14-year-old Elizabeth Smart.
I thought they were talking about something that just happened. My bad, y'all. I thought they were saying that it's a missing 15-year-old found alive after vanishing without a trace. I thought that's the video I was watching. I didn't realize. Let me see. Oh, it must be part of this 5-person thing. I was like, damn, I just thought there was some new story out. All right, let me me get to the videos for today. I actually want to show one of the videos. I had mentioned this story last night, and I've had the video up for a while now. I just haven't every time, like, we always get like, I usually have a couple different things planned for true crime, and then if we go over talking about whatever, and there was a couple times where I had, like, 2 videos planned, and we would get to talking about the first video, and, like, the whole hour would be up. Um, so I did put this on here a little bit ago, or I recorded it and everything a little bit ago, but we talked about it last night, and I wanted to show you guys this story because this story made 0 sense to me. And we'll get into it once you guys hear it.
Viewer discretion is advised. I do want to share the very latest from law enforcement.
As you know, I'm going to correct the date. It doesn't change anything with the case. In the initial release, I put out August 8th. An officer was flagged down at the Sheets at the corner of Shipyard Boulevard and Independence. It was actually August 3rd, so that's my mistake. But on August 3rd, a patrol officer was flagged down at the Sheets gas station at the corner of Shipyard Boulevard and Independence, and was advised that 2 teenage girls had located some pills in their Blizzards, which is, as you probably know, is an ice cream product you can get from Dairy Queen. There were paramedics that were already there at the Sheets. They weren't specifically called for this incident. In fact, that's actually why we believe that they stopped there. The paramedics checked them out. It did not appear that the juveniles had ingested any of the foreign substances that were located in their ice creams. The officer confiscated the pills. A presumptive field test was conducted on those pills. We'll talk about that here in a little bit too if you have questions. The field test is presumptive in nature. Okay, it's not a laboratory test. That comes later. That is in progress right now as we speak. Based on the presumptive test, the totality of everything going on, safe to say one thing led to another. Report was taken. That report was forwarded up to our criminal investigations division, which any report that has follow-up factors is forwarded up to them. A detective began investigating the case. Obviously that involves going to the scene of the crime, talking to those involved. During that investigation, surveillance video was discovered and handed over to the Wilmington Police Department that clearly shows Mr. Yoakley placing the pills in the ice cream. Based on that, other things discovered in the
Here's what I don't get. Please, people, wake up. I understand that this was a grandfather and he was older, but you're gonna be on video. You're gonna be on video. You were at a Dairy Queen, for God's sakes. You don't think there's gonna be video camera with everything that goes on? It's very rare that you find somewhere that doesn't have a camera. Just like in the Emmanuel Harrow story. The parents had to go in and ask the store if they had cameras prior to them doing what they did because they wanted to make sure they wouldn't be on camera, which clearly wasn't the smartest thing to do either because somebody who works there is going to remember that you came in and asked and said your car was broken into. But for the love of God, 1, don't spike your granddaughter's shit, but 2, be smart enough to know that if you do, you're going to be caught on camera, dummy. And what I didn't get is they kept referring to it as pills, but then they said in other reports that it was Coquiana. And I just don't understand why you would spike teenage girls' drinks with an upper. Did he not understand what he was doing? Because usually, like date rape drugs and things that they give people to like drug them to do any kind of like crazy shit with them is like a downer. So I was like, I don't know. Let's listen, and then I'll explain more why I feel this way.
Investigation that detective pursued charges against Mr. Yoakley. It was on the 26th that he came to the police station and was taken into custody, and those warrants that had been taken out and were served. And then he was transported to the jail, the New Hanover County Detention Center. He was given a $100,000 secured bond by the magistrate
and a friend,
and was able to post bond and is currently out on bail right now. That's kind of where we're at right now. I think most of that information is probably already known. I know various outlets have obtained court paperwork through the clerk's office as public record and gleaned other information there. So if there are any questions you guys have, I'll try to answer them, and I also have my help over here that can potentially answer or clarify anything that you may be curious about. I'll open it up.
I think I probably have the answer, but will you guys be releasing that footage?
No, we're not going to release it. The case has to go to court, and once it goes to court and is presented as evidence and the case is adjudicated, there's a potential then. But no, we won't be releasing it prior.
They don't know what he was trying to do. They were literally at Dairy Queen having a blizzard, and he did this to not only his own granddaughter, but her friend as well. So it's like, what was his motive? I don't think they knew the motive because it was all the way it all hit, the way the shit hit the fan, and obviously he put pills in it. And like Nicholas said, you wouldn't sprinkle it. Like, you don't think they're going to notice pills, especially in a blizzard, because blizzards aren't like, it's not like it's a creamy stuff. Like, it's, you can flip the blizzard upside down, it doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know that's what I'm saying. I don't know what his brain was thinking.
Have you guys found exactly where Yoakley got?
It says Wilmington, so I'm assuming North
I
Carolina.
don't believe so. Like the source, no. No.
Are you all
Wilmington.
able to say what type of narcotics were found?
Do you, Kevin, do you want to kind of
The pills that were received.
come on up here so they can.
No, it's fine. The pills that were received that night were tested in a field test, which is not conclusive. It just gives the officer an idea of what we could be dealing with, especially for narcotics or poison or anything like that. So the presumptive test showed that it had the same compounds as other drugs. It may very well not be those drugs when it comes back from a lab. So that's where we are right now.
Well, what was it?
To say it's not absolute as to what it was. It definitely was a pill because it was wet. The markings weren't readable. So, we're not going to jump to conclusions. We only listed the type of drugs that were, I think, released in the warrant because that's what they tested for in the street. But it may turn out to be something else.
So the street field tests basically
okay,
are designed to
let me
test for
look.
compounds that make up
Let me look.
illegal narcotics or narcotics in general. So it indicates the compounds, the chemical compounds that are there. So there's no question, we're talking about drugs here. It's just getting to the point where it's isolated, identifying exactly.
See, that's that they wouldn't really like, they're not saying, but like I said, in other reports, because obviously they listed it in the affidavit or arrest warrant or whatever it was that they put on, the court paperwork was online. And so I'm assuming that's where news got the outlet, because that's where I heard from the news that it was cocaine. And I'm like, wait, what? So it tested positive. So maybe it was like, they can make like they have the pressers where they can make like the fake ones. And that's how people, die sometimes of fentanyl overdose, because they don't realize that even though it's supposed to be whatever, a hydrocodone, it's pressed and it actually has that in it. So maybe that was the case, but they were confusing the shit out of me, because I'd heard all these news reports that he allegedly drugged them with cocaine, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, you want the teenagers bouncing off the walls? I don't get it. And then they wouldn't talk about it, so I really couldn't get confirmation. So I don't know, again, what it was. Maybe it will come back, and they'll tell us. Let's see. I'm looking up what Wilmington, because I always said I thought it was Wilmington, North Carolina, but I may be wrong. So let's see. Yeah, New Hanover County, North Carolina. So Wilmington.
What drugs are there?
Hey.
That's in progress right now with the
I
lab.
don't know, FBI.
Would it have been a lethal dose?
Hard to say. I not being a medical professional and
hold
not
on.
knowing specifics, how different.
Okay, so this report says that now this makes sense. This report says MDMA and cocaine, which to me says it was probably like Molly or ecstasy or some sort of form of that, which makes me think that he may have been trying to get them in some type of mood or something, if you get what I'm saying. It was her and her friend. I'm trying to see if they state how old they were. I believe they've only said teenagers. I don't know that they've actually like hammered down on a specific age. In this report, it just says granddaughter, and that it was a granddaughter and her friend. But I've heard that it was teenagers. So this article here from WECT does not say. It just says it just says granddaughter and the other girl was her friend. 2 teens involved. So they were teenagers of some age.
Folks metabolize things. I really can't say whether it be lethal
Wow.
or not. There was not
His
a
granddaughter.
huge amount, and I know that's kind of a broad term there, but yeah, I mean,
It says here in the report that there were 2 pills, and they don't give their ages. They just said that they clarified that one girl was his, let me say this, she was his step granddaughter, and the other girl was her friend. So here it says North Carolina officials accused of spiking granddaughter's ice cream. In this report, because this is a report that is called clarification. So it's basically the news channel is clarifying a few things. And in this clarification, they're letting you know that it was 2 teens. One was his step granddaughter. So clearly he was married to her grandmother. And it looks like it was cocaine and MDMA, which I think that's either Molly or what's the other one I just said? I think that's either Molly or ecstasy. So I guess he was trying to get them to party.
it wasn't. We're talking
That's wild.
1 pill per container. So, and I don't know what the milligrams come up to be or anything like that. Again, a lot of that stuff's gonna depend on the lab findings.
Just to confirm something you said earlier, you said you believe Mr. Yoakley stopped at Sheets because paramedics were already present there?
I believe so. So I believe the young ladies that are involved in this case, when they discovered the pills,
They thought it was
they
Dairy
became
Queen.
very concerned and emotional. And I believe
They thought it was Dairy Queen that put the shit in there. The girls did. Thank God. The worker that was there, she said, thank God we had video, because none of us, like when they were confronted about it, the cops confronted the workers and was like, listen, people found, drugs in their blizzards and all this. And the manager was like, nobody that works here would ever do that. And luckily they had video to confirm it, and they could see him putting the 2 pills into the ice cream.
the 16-year-old involved was driving.
Oh, 16.
And
There you go.
right now it looks like that due to concerns, fear, panic, if you will, made the decision to pull in there. So we think that decision was probably made by the juveniles to
Well,
go
of
to the
course.
gas station since they saw an ambulance or paramedic vehicle there.
Mark.
So if Yoakley is from Surrey County, do you all know why he was out here in Wilmington?
We believe he has a residence here. Yeah, so
Right.
I don't know about his residential status in Surrey County, but we do know he's a resident of New
Right,
Hanover, or
Don.
he is a resident of New Hanover County as well.
We had heard he's got a bit of a criminal history. Can y'all elaborate on that?
I'm actually not familiar. I haven't run his criminal history. I'm not familiar with that.
Wow.
Have you spoke to the family or the girls?
The girls were interviewed extensively for the case.
Also, let me just say that he appeared in court on August 27th and waived his right to a court-appointed attorney. He's not allowed to have contact with the 2 children involved. Yoakley served as the chair of the Surrey County Board of Elections, but has resigned as of August 28th. At the time of his arrest, the North Carolina State Board of Elections sent the following statement. The State Board of Elections and Surrey County Board of Elections are aware of the charges against Mr. Yoakley, the chair of the Surrey County Board of Elections. We will continue to collect information about the situation and will provide support to the Surrey County Board as needed to ensure it is able to continue serving the county voters. Signed, the North Carolina State Board of Elections.
Okay. Yeah, so the females involved have been interviewed.
And
Right,
it becomes
Philla,
a
right.
Relationship.
That's why I
of the
said
girls
that.
Not necessarily being.
I didn't go deep into that.
He was a good old boy, honey. You're in North Carolina, baby. He was a good old boy. He was on that election committee over there. Yeah.
So we know one juvenile is a step granddaughter.
Well, at least he referred to him as granddaughter, but the other one's a friend of the granddaughter.
Correct. Yeah.
Because he knows it sounds better to say it's his granddaughter versus step granddaughter. He's not stupid.
I don't know if you're able to elaborate. What did he have to say about this?
Yeah, what did he have to say?
I don't know myself, and I can't find out and elaborate on that.
See ya.
What else?
The parents, have they said anything?
Not that I'm aware of. Our investigators have been in contact with the family
EHP?
and spoken to them, but again, that would be something in confidence between them.
So at the time that these two teenagers flagged down, someone, did they have any inclination that it was
The sheets, because in conjunction with the juveniles that were there, the officer happened to be in the
Look at my text messages right up at the top, honey. Hold on. Hey, at least it was my text message and not somebody else's.
How do you make the real
Hold
pink?
on.
Did any of the girls express
That's funny.
concerns, if
No, this is
with
not
this
today.
behavior, is this the first time that something like this has happened, or did they feel any sort of way?
At this time,
This actually happened, this press conference, and all the news broke at the end of August. It actually took place. The press release said August 10th, I believe, but he said it actually occurred on August 3rd of this year. I am, and yes, I am. Malarkey will follow after this.
we don't know, and I can tell you, based
Yeah,
on what
Dawn.
I've been informed or what I've been told, is that
I know, right, CP?
the girls were very upset. They were very upset, very concerned, panicked, and of course that was
Yes,
this incident.
Christy.
But as far as like indications of any other past,
Yes, the girls lived. They actually saw the pills before they ate it. Like they were able to pull, once they saw it, they got upset thinking Dairy Queen did it, and they saw there was an ambulance at the gas station, and they pulled into the gas station and, told somebody. I'm assuming that they went to Dairy Queen with the grandpa, and then they were all going to meet back at the house or whatever. They were spending the night, I'm sure. So on the way back to the house, they realized that there was these pills in their Blizzard and saw an ambulance sitting at a gas station and happened to because the girl was 16, she was driving. They happened to pull over at the gas station. And of course, when law enforcement came, they said, "Hey, we just got these Blizzards at Dairy Queen. They have these pills in them." The police checked the pills. They were obviously drugs. And so they went to the Dairy Queen, basically questioning the Dairy Queen employees, like, what the hell? These girls just got a Blizzard so and so time ago, and this is what was in it. Then they pulled the surveillance tape and realized it was good old grandpa that was with them that put the stuff in there while they were in the Dairy Queen. They're lucky he put it while they were in the Dairy Queen on camera. Like there's so many things that could have happened in this case and especially him being an elected, he was, not only was he like an elected official, he was over the elections. He was on the board of elections. So I'm sure had politicians in his back pocket considering he was on the board of elections. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or anything that I can't go into that if that's been expressed or not.
And just anecdotally, I mean, this is kind of a wild case. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this before?
We've seen cases before where people have put drugs in people's drinks or food. I mean, yeah, it's happened before, and it does happen. Just based on my experience, this is the first time that I know of where it's been like this kind of dynamic with a family member, but that's certainly not to say, it's never happened before. That's just based on my experience. It's not an everyday occurrence. Typically when you think of people putting something in someone's drink, you're traditionally thinking downtown or, a roofie, if you will, or something like that. And that could be a completely different scenario. But yeah, I mean, as far.
Okay, so he was booked on 2 counts of felony contaminating food or drink with a controlled substance, felony child abuse, and felony possession of a Schedule I narcotic. It also says that this investigation into the case is ongoing, that this is not a typical incident, and then he was, arrested, put in jail, and then he was able to bond out on a $100,000 bond. And the video footage is what got him there because it shows him doing it. He also resigned. He was scheduled to appear in court today. So, why he is no longer in jail, if convicted, he could face a prison sentence. Investigation is still ongoing. So, let's see if they have any updates. Yoakley appears in court today because he was supposed to go to court today. Scheduled to appear in court on September 11th for a hearing. He has not yet entered a plea in the case. After the charges became public, he resigned from his position. But I do not see any updates as of yet as far as him going to jail. So it must have just been something very like a preliminary or something like that where he did, because it says he hasn't even entered a plea yet. So yeah, let's listen to this though.
Or as in my experience, family member wise, it's the first I can think of as I'm standing up here, but it's, again, certainly not to say it's never happened before.
Were they all driving together?
Yes. Yeah, they were all in Mr. Yoakley's vehicle.
Did he place the pills in the drinks at the Dairy Queen?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on how he concealed that?
I don't know how well. So I know in the video, just to kind of summarize it, he can be seen placing something on the counter, and it's pretty apparent that when the employees make the drinks, he's trying to observe if anybody's observing him, and that's when the items are placed in the blizzards or drinks, however you want to editorialize it. But yeah.
And when you guys went back to that Dairy Queen, and I assume asked, what stuff, did they see him doing anything? Did they ever see anything?
No, they didn't give us any indication that they picked up on any suspicious behavior. They missed it, basically.
They also said that one of the witnesses said that he was the one who was flagged down at the Sheetz that they pulled into, and that Yoakley is actually who got out of the car and told the officer, I guess so it was an officer, told the officer that his granddaughters had found 2 pills in the ice cream they had purchased at a Dairy Queen on Oleander Drive. And then, of course, they went up there and he's on footage. So he must have been dumb and thought they didn't have footage. So he was trying to blame, obviously, that he probably thought they were going to eat it in the car, not find it. They were going to go back to the house, whatever the case may be. They found it. So then, of course, he has to be like, oh, my God, they found this in their Dairy Queen. You didn't think he was going to be on camera, old man?
Which is to be expected. From what I understand, it was around closing time. Maybe 4 employees there, I think. So it was around closing time. They're closing up shop. They're doing their thing. They're making ice cream, so they're not necessarily on guard.
It also does not say anything about his wife's statement or the family of the children's statement or anything like that. I can't find anything.
To watch what a customer's doing. So
No.
It's definitely not on them.
He didn't tell on himself. But the girls had already found it, so he couldn't deny it. So he jumped out of the car and was like, officer, my granddaughter found something in her blizzard that we just got at Dairy Queen, acting like the Dairy Queen did it. He tried to play it off like, oh my God, like clutch my pearls. They found something in their drink. Because what was he supposed to do then? They had already pulled in and said, oh my God, Grandpa, there's something in our drink. Is he going to tell them like, oh, don't worry, I put that in there? Hell no. So yeah, he jumped out and told the officer, they got something. Look at this, officer. They found this in their drink. We just got it off of Oleander at Dairy Queen. Trying to act like he didn't know nothing about it.
And there was obviously an effort by Mr. Yoakley to try and conceal his behavior. So
this
right, Victoria?
Mostly occurred at night?
What time? It wasn't in the evening?
Your closing time at night. And to point out, both victims of this remained in the car the whole time, so it was a situation where there wasn't anybody around watching.
Right, so he ordered.
Dairy Queen has been absolutely helpful with us. Anything that we need, and they supplied all the surveillance footage that they have from several different angles, and at no time do we believe that they had anything
Right,
to do with
Shonda?
this.
Yeah, if anything, regardless of how this case is adjudicated, Dairy Queen and was collateral damage based on
That's
somebody
crazy.
else's behavior. What else?
That's nuts.
Is there anything you guys needed me to bring up?
Their parents now.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we go.
I'm not sure. They're safe, but I mean that's obviously a priority. Anytime a juvenile is the victim of a crime or exposed to a crime or anything like that, Health and Human Services, commonly referred to as DSS, becomes involved. And obviously the child or juvenile's welfare is something that's paramount, regardless of the case. So along with
Yoakley still in custody, or did he bail out?
no, he made bond the day of his arrest. He posted it was a $100,000 secured bond.
Getting real clear that I'm under, if we're not talking ice cream that this was put in, we're talking Slurpee, like a drink.
It's ice cream. It's like a really thick milkshake.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Blizzard. So anybody that frequents Dairy Queen, if they're familiar with a Blizzard, it's a milkshake you cover that led up to this incident and during the incident. Obviously, there's the lab aspect to this. Our partners with the sheriff's office lab are the ones processing the pills. So that's obviously a part of it. There's obviously will be a lot of conference that our investigators will have with the district attorney's office. So, even, and this isn't just unique to this case. Anytime there's a case of varying degree of severity, once there's arrest, even after the arrest, it's very common for the investigation to continue on. So it's not like, arrest is made, the book's closed, and we wait for court. So
I wonder that who Billy says, I wonder if the girls knew he had high-ranking people on his side and knew they had to have proof, or it might be swept under the rug. I'm wondering if they suspected him at all, because clearly the way, which I'm sure the grandfather had some type of persuasion making them think it was the Dairy Queen, because obviously the Dairy Queen employee says in this article, like, she was like, hey, we would never do that. So obviously for her to say that, they must have come at them like, hey, these girls just got this in their drink. How could this have got there? Things like that. I just think that I was so confused when it was saying like Kokiana. I was like, why would you want to give that to a teenager? Like, wouldn't that be the last thing you'd give a teenager? I was so confused, but it makes so much more sense if it had the MDMA factor into it. That makes sense.
there's a lot of loose ends we tie up, a lot of post interviews or additional interviews that are conducted, just things like that. Nothing that will really change where we're already at, if anything.
Yes, Scorpio, that's the thing. Has he done this before? Did they suspect him? So many questions.
More than capable of handling this request, and the turnaround usually is quicker than it is at the state lab, which is just because the state lab, North Carolina State Lab, handles North Carolina, and they have a huge workload.
Oh, I mean, for me, I was just trying to figure out like what his motive would have been behind putting certain drugs in things. I had just never heard of someone putting an upper. Usually they're trying to knock them out or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously drugs are drugs, which it shouldn't have been there.
So the lab here is capable of doing the exact same tests.
Right.
And the turnaround is typically a lot quicker. So it won't be real long, but I mean, it's going to take them a little bit of time to do what they need to do. But not as long as it would if we sent it up to the state lab. Again, just because the state lab's workload is heavy.
I know nobody's been convicted yet. We want to basically establish that. But if there is a conviction here, he's looking at some pretty serious time, I would think.
Potentially. Somebody at the district attorney's office could probably consult you better on that, but it depends on what level he's convicted at and prior history, anything like that. But it is safe to say, yes, that there could absolutely be time, a sentence that would require active time. That is correct.
I could probably ask the DA or look on in court, but do you know when his first court appearance was?
So his first appearance based on the felony charges would have been Wednesday.
We know it. Okay, hold on.
Just for both.
Well, it was because of his arrest. So we typically, there's a lot that goes on in Wilmington, right? Like any other city our size. So there really wouldn't be a reason, especially in this case. If it was an unknown, honestly, it could do more harm than good. And putting it out there to say, hey, something happened and we don't know what's going on. It was relatively quick in this investigation that we developed Mr. Oakley as a suspect. And of course, we're definitely not going to advertise that. We don't want to.
There you have it. So, yeah, they don't want to advertise that. I just think it's crazy that has he done this? If he is so if he is so, he's going to do this to his own step granddaughter and her friend. First of all, the extra added friend, I feel like that's not his first time. Just for the simple fact that it gives so many variables to the friend, like finding it, the friend telling her parents, the friend, whatever the case may be, that gives a lot of variables to it. So I feel like, has he done this, him being an elected official, has he done these things to women out in the community? Has he frequented bars and done these things and slipped pills in people's drinks or food before? Like, the fact that it's his step granddaughter and her friend, and they're in the car together, the granddaughter's driving, like they're supposed to be having like this outing with their grandpa, and he tries to slip them some party drug. That's just crazy. Oh yeah, Evelyn, that was my thing. I was trying to figure out the intentions behind it, like what the was going on here, you know? Exactly, Shonda. I would never hear about half these stories, right, CP? I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. I'm glad you guys definitely hung out with me. I have had, like I said, that story. I've had it for probably a couple weeks now, sitting in there. Obviously, I didn't edit it very well because you can definitely see my text messages at the top. But at least they were mine and no one else's. I would much rather out myself than out someone else sending me something, for sure. So that's the thing. I'd be much more careful with someone else's stuff. Mine, apparently, I don't give a shit. You can see my text and who it's from. Um, but yeah, you know how that goes. But I will be back with Malarkey shortly, probably around 10:45, 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Thank you guys again for joining me for another episode of True Crime with your host, me, Feminine and Fierce. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, you are the real MVP for watching it this long on the replay. For everybody that was here, of course, you know, you being here is always the best. Your support means the most to me, and I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys again. I will see you next Tuesday for another episode of True Crime. And if you follow the Malarkey, then I'll see you soon for that. If not, then again, like I said, I'll see you next Tuesday for the True Crime. You guys know twice a week we have True Crime on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Malarkey most other days. Here lately, I have not been doing 7 days a week, but sometimes I do. So who knows? But I do try to give you guys a 30-minute warning. So there usually is always a 30-minute warning on YouTube. And yes, I said warning before I come live for anything, whether that be true crime or malarkey reasons. So I will see you guys again soon, hopefully. And until then, bye.